Hi friends, this is Winslow with Vibrant Health Evolution, and I just want to share with you about my day and what I have going on here in my kitchen. Welcome to Winslow's World. So for today, let's see, this morning I got up and I made myself a lemon water. So about this size, well, this is the cup I do it in. It's just about 28 ounces when it's totally full. And I fill that full of room temperature water, or slightly warm. You don't want it to be hot or you kill the lemon, and juice 1 full lemon. So I drink that first thing, and then 30 minutes later I drink celery juice, and I drink that on my way to taking my son to school. I took with me a coconut water and a banana because I went straight from dropping him off to work out. And you don't really want to work out on, celery juice doesn't have quite enough glucose, right? But I want to separate the celery juice 30 minutes, nothing before and after, to get the full healing benefit. It's an incredibly healing food. So anyway, that was my morning, and then and I had that banana after my workout. And then when I got home, I made my heavy metal detox smoothie, which I am drinking right now. Wild blueberries and banana, spirulina, barley grass juice powder, dulse, orange juice, coconut water, and I'm leaving out one thing. What is it? Oh, the wild blueberries. Did I say that? Cilantro. Yeah, here we go. I put about that much cilantro in my smoothie every morning. Right here, I have 4 bunches of cilantro that I rinsed and washed off really well this morning. And I'm letting it dry before I put it back in the fridge. So I go through this 4 bunches about every week, maybe even a little bit more than that. And also this morning I made my son some fresh squeezed orange juice to give him the vitamins and nutrients and essential glucose before he heads to school. So this is my little juicer. This thing costs $10. Now I juiced myself some grapefruit juice, and I have a whole bunch of limes, so I'm going to put some lime in it. So I'm actually putting 4 of these little limes in here. And I will probably add a little bit of coconut water to this too. Did you guys know that 95% of people are chronically dehydrated? And our livers work really hard, our hearts work really hard when we're dehydrated. So just staying hydrated is such an incredible gift to your liver. Drinking that lemon water in the morning is a huge win. When you drink lemon water, all night long your liver fights to collect and get all the toxins it can out of your body. And in the morning, if you don't drink water and flush it out, and the lemon water is more powerful than regular water, then it gets reabsorbed back into your body. So when you drink the lemon water in the morning, you're hydrating, you're cleansing your blood, you're cleansing your liver. Huge gift, huge win for the body. And then making sure you stay hydrated throughout the day. So even when I'm guiding in the mountains, I like to make this grapefruit juice and take it with me with the lime and, sometimes lime, sometimes not. Coconut water perhaps in there too, and it's so satisfying on the trail for hydration. So this I will put into a jar, put it into the fridge, and drink it at some point in time today. What else I have going on here is I wash all my fruits and veggies really well. And I like to, whatever, the day I go to the store or the next day, get everything washed. And so I put my oranges and grapefruits in here and with some warm soapy water. So even something where you're not eating the peel, it's going to have sprays on the outside of it. And so to get that off is really great because you're going to touch it, you're going to cut into it. All right, so I'm going to drain those. And then I'm going to take you over and show you another little project I have going on. Follow me. All right, here we go. Here I have some more fruits and veggies that I have washed, and I'm drying there. And then over here, this is my station. I am going to make a juice. So let me move my sage, my herbs I just bought that I'm going to plant. Okay, so I am doing right now a bit of a cleanse from the Brain Saver book. And this is the Brain Saver book here. I'll show you. Brain Saver Protocols, Cleanses, and Recipes. There's 2 books. Brain Saver Brain Saver Protocols, Cleanses, and Recipes. And right now I'm doing the pesticide, herbicide, and fungicide exposure shot. So there's all these different shots in here, and I'm just doing one per day. And I'm going to work through all the different ones. So yesterday I did the toxic heavy metal exposure. Before that I did radiation exposure, EMF and 5G, mold exposure, and I haven't done this one yet, but the negative energy exposure. So there's these exposure shots, and then it goes into these shifter shots, and then it goes into stabilizer shots. So I'm just trying to do one per day. And whenever I do it, I usually make extra. I'll make like 2 of them, so I can have one kind of earlier in the day and one later in the day. So let me get back to my, back to my thing here. So here's the book, and I am following this recipe. So it says here I need 1/4 cup of tightly packed fresh parsley. So I use, when I do the parsley and cilantro, I use the whole thing, like the stems and everything. And the way I go through all the cilantro and parsley that I do is because I like to put it in smoothies, I like to juice some of it, and then I'll chop it. I'll take this and like chop it really fine, the parsley and cilantro, and put them in a jar, and then just put it on top of whatever meal I've got going on. So that's my parsley there. I'm going to cut up a little bit of this cilantro, just a little bit, and it says here 1/2 cup of cilantro. So like I said, I'm doubling it, so I'm going to, and you want it tightly packed, so it's kind of however much you can actually fit into this. I might actually get a little more in here. So you wouldn't believe the healing powers of herbs. You know, celery is an herb. It's incredibly healing, the celery juice. This book is one of my favorites, Life-Changing Foods. It talks about all the healing powers of different foods. And I find it really inspiring and makes me excited to give my body the very best. All right, so I'm going to call that about 1/2 cup. I can pack it in there. And then the next thing I'm going to need is some large kale leaves. So here's my kale. And then it says after that, some frozen or thawed blackberries, or fresh blackberries. So I'm going to get my blackberries from over here. So wild blueberries are the most powerful antioxidant berry, which is why they're in the smoothie. And then blackberries would be your second most powerful one. All berries are really great for you. And so blackberries, and then we need some celery. So we got the celery here. And I need 1 orange, or 1 to 2 tangerines peeled. And so I think what I'm going to do is, instead of putting those through this juicer, I have that citrus juice over there. So I'm going to juice those with the citrus juicer and then add that afterwards. So I need another piece of equipment here. But yeah, I try and use a lot of herbs. Thyme, rosemary, sage. They're all so healing. All right, so I'm going to get this juicer going here. I have 2 juicers now. I like juicing. So this is the Omega. It's called the Omega 900. They have one called the 1500. It's even more powerful. Just down in. So there's the parsley, and you want to do it in order. Whatever order it's listed in, it says to do it in that order. But yeah, the healing powers, when you read about parsley and cilantro and this life-changing food, you're like, oh my gosh, so cool. We can heal our bodies with food. That is so cool. We know how to do it well. So generally what I do is I do this lemon water celery juice smoothie every morning. I like to steam some potatoes, and then I go low fat. No fat really, no radical fats. All fruits and veggies have trace amounts of fats as well. But I go No radical fats, meaning nuts, seeds, oils, meats, all that good stuff. All that stuff. I don't do any of that until dinner time. And usually the fat that I choose, plant-based fat, which is probably the healthiest fat, is the avocado. And I'll put some avocado on my meal. But generally I'm eating lots of things like potatoes that are steamed, and spaghetti squash and zucchinis and different squash, butternut squash. All kinds of squashes are really great, critically clean carbohydrates. Okay, the next thing here is the kale. Kale going. Now these shots are going to draw heavy metals and things out of the body. They're not necessarily made to taste great. They're made to heal you. Most of the ones I've had so far don't taste horrible, but I'm curious how this will taste. I don't think it'll be too bad. Okay, well, with the orange juice and blackberries in there, it'll probably be pretty good. Okay, I got the kale. After the kale, oh, I missed one, radishes. So I'm gonna come over here. You wanna come with me? I'll show you my fridge. Did I show you my fruit stand? So I wash a bunch of fruits and veggies. I'm gonna take those bananas and dehydrate them today because they're like perfectly ripe right now, and I have a ton of bananas. But let's open up the Winslow fridge. Winslow's World. Woo, it's kind of packed right now. And honestly, you guys, this is like 90% lettuces, fruits and veggies. I got some meat up there for the boys. I don't eat meat. Coconut water. This is all veggies. These are my sprouts. I got some mango. I'm gonna finish eating that today. But I'm gonna take out here. I got some strawberries and blueberries. Eat those today. But here's my radishes. Grapes. I got potatoes. I got lemons and limes and ginger and cilantro and herbs. All kinds of herbs. Dill and thyme. Oregano. Okay. Back over here to juicing land. I got my radishes. So it's like, I don't think radishes are the most delicious food in the world, but I don't mind them. And I know how healing they are from eating the life-changing foods. So this is calling for 2 radishes, so I'm going to double it. I got 4 radishes, perfect. What I do is I buy the radishes that have greens on top. And then I wash the whole thing really well. And I take the greens and I chop them up really fine, put them in a jar. And then I throw them on top of salads and meals. Because the radish greens are really healing too. And I eat 1 radish, usually per meal, so lunch and dinner. Get the radishes in. And I know it's a healing food. I pretty much will go for it. Okay. Radish action. And then the next thing it says to add now is our blackberries. Blackberries. Alright, blackberries, here we go. So these are organic blackberries, and I still wash them. Anything organic, I still wash really well because they still spray organic. It's different spray, it's not quite as toxic, but still, you don't want to eat what they spray on it. So make sure you wash all your fruits and veggies really well. Berries, I like to put them in like a container of water and let them sit and let them soak for a little bit. Okay, blackberries. Now we got the celery. And then the last thing then we got our oranges, which I'll add the orange juice a little later, and then the spirulina. So this is calling for 1/4 teaspoon of spirulina. And so let me just trim that a little bit, make it so it comes out a little more easily. We'll add this in. So spirulina is really great at drawing out heavy metals out of the body. That's why it's in the heavy metal detox smoothie. Just tastes good. Yeah, I like to add the ginger and turmeric to my smoothie too. Anti-inflammatories. But the spirulina has all these amino acids, and it's one of the ingredients that helps draw out the heavy metals out of the body. Going to scrape this, it's got a screen here, it's draining through. I'm just going to kind of scrape that a little. so that's the celery. And that'll be done. I'll show you the spirulina. You want to see the spirulina? Let's check it out. So, I like to buy the Vimergy products because they're the highest quality. And, oh, you probably want to see in this drawer I just opened. These are my supplements, things like B12 and Total Immune Blend, Golden Seal, Propolis, Pure. These are all Vimergy. Zinc, Cat's Claw, get nettle, all kinds of healing things in there. And then here is my spirulina. Alright, so the spirulina, really healing. I'll show you what it looks like inside. I also have the barley grass juice powder. So the Vimergy products, sorry this camera's all over the place. Vimergy products don't have any fillers. There's no harmful additives. You won't ever find natural flavors or citric acid. But be really careful with your supplements because there's a ton of things out there, and you see them giving free samples in the Costco of all these liquid IV and different things. But read the ingredients. It's going to have natural flavors, which is heavy metals, which is it's MSG. Natural flavors covers up MSG. But this spirulina, this is cool dark color. You know, if you ever see like chunks in there, it's because they don't add the anti-taking agents. They don't add anything to it. No hidden ingredients. I get my thing here, 1/4 of a teaspoon, so I'll go with the 1/2 of a teaspoon. Well, this is a 1/4, so I'll add 2 of those. After I kind of strain this juice, I'll add 2 teaspoons of this, the orange juice. I'm gonna put it in a jar because these kind of things, when you do a shot like this out of the brain, it's best to eat it, drink it on an empty stomach. So what I'm gonna do is when I finish my heavy metal detox smoothie, I'll either have lunch, set my timer for an hour, or I'll set my timer for a 1/2 hour, and then I'll drink this pesticide, herbicide, and fungicide exposure shot, 1/2 of it. Save the other 1/2 for the afternoon. But I'll set a timer and make sure that I've had nothing, 15 to 30 minutes before or after. If I've had a big meal, I'll wait like an hour before I have it. So there we go. You've got a little peek into the life of Winslow Passey here while I heal and stay healthy. So here we got the pups. You might want to see the pups. Bodie and I went and slept on the trampoline last night, and then we got rained on, so we brought our whole scene in here and had a camp out in here. Oh yeah, it was 20% chance. We kind of took a risk with that one. All right, folks, this is Winslow for Vibrant Health Evolution. Thanks for joining me in my kitchen. Namaste.